Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we will have Father Tim Smith in the studio to tell us the story of how he got his call to the priesthood. You've heard him on the show before. He's always fun, always has lots to tell us, and it's a good story, so I hope you'll stick around for that. First, we have, I haven't called you the lovely Dr. Chris Bergwald for a while. So,
well, thank you very much.
Getting lovelier by the day, right?
Still happy Advent, Renee.
Yes.
What's today, Renee?
Well, it'd be the second Sunday of Advent.
That would.
I almost said ordinary time.
And what year are we in again, Renee?
C.
And the gospel for year C is
Luke. I had to stop for 1 second.
You are.
Bill would have bailed me out. I'm sure.
So
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh, I can't believe I'm taking this on. Why am I doing this?
Are you going to read the gospel?
Oh, my gosh.
I was going to say you should hand it to Renee and see if she
Renee, would you read the gospel for today?
No.
Just kind of quickly, because we only have a few minutes.
I'll just what?
Come on, we're
no, you get to.
Killing it. Oh, my gosh.
Anticipating.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Here's the most of, not all of, today's gospel. In the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, when Pontius Pilate was governor of Judea, and Herod was tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip, tetrarch of the region of Iturea and Trachonitis, and Lysanias was tetrarch of Abilene. That's the thing that
you
Bill
see why I
hear.
didn't want to read it.
During the high priest of Annas and Caiaphas, the word of God came to John, the son of Zechariah, in the desert. And we kind of go on from there. So as you listen to that,
there's a lot of stuff going on
apart from me trying to, ready to laugh at my mispronunciation, although you wouldn't know.
Nobody knows.
What strikes you, Renee? Because something should strike you. So you better have some response here.
Can I ask you to repeat it?
In the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, when Pontius was governor, Herod was tetrarch, his brother Philip was tetrarch of there, Lysanias was tetrarch of that. During the high priest of Annas and Caiaphas, the word of God came to John, the son of Zechariah, in the desert.
Well, to me, they're really trying to pinpoint when this was in history.
Well
ding,
done.
Ding, ding, ding.
And the implication of that is
that it actually happened.
Right. Well done. Yeah. So Luke, this is the beginning of chapter 3 in Luke's gospel. So chapter 1 and 2 in Luke's gospel are all about
the birth of Jesus.
Right. So John and Jesus, yes. Chapter 3 is where we get into the public ministry. So we jump ahead 30 odd years.
And then we jump back later on in the month.
Right.
Ahead, back, whatever.
Luke starts his gospel talking about how he's talked to people. He's offering a detailed account. And we read that in the birth, the nativity narratives, and we also read the infancy narratives, and we also read it here at the beginning. So he's specifying this is when this happened because he's making clear, as you already said, that this really happened.
He just knew in the 21st century.
Yes, it is the 21st century.
We were all going to be like, this didn't happen. Not all, but there'd be a bunch of people who are like, this didn't happen.
Because it's not, I feel like we've talked about this before. He doesn't start once upon a time or long, long ago in a country far, far away. He doesn't do that.
Right.
He specifies who the rulers are. I think some people have pointed out, I think maybe Father Peter Cameron, former editor of Magnificat, he and or Bishop Barron pointed out that actually these characters, these people who are named, many of them play a role 30 or some years later.
Oh, yes.
In Jesus's,
that's true. Because that's the same
passion.
Herod, right?
Same. Same Herod. Yeah.
Okay.
Not 30 years later. Sorry, 3 years later-ish from now.
Yes. I was going to say 30 years. I don't think it's the same Herod.
But the other thing that is often pointed out, right. The other thing that's often pointed out, though, so all these people, what happened? Where did the word of God come from? So what we get is these are the ruling secular power, the emperor, and his delegate. So that's Tiberius Caesar and Pontius Pilate, and then we get the local rulers, Herod and Philip and Lysanias, and we get the religious rulers, Annas and Caiaphas. And it's sort of like there's some pop culture reference here that it's on the tip.
Maybe Bill has it.
I was thinking of something else. Sorry, what?
So the word of God
attention.
comes in and just goes right on by all these important people and goes out into the desert
with John.
to John.
Right.
And we're going to talk about John more again next week. So the second and third Sundays of Advent, we hear about week one. The first Sunday was about the second coming. Mm-hmm. Week 2 and 3 is about John the Baptist. So we get here, and there's more in the gospel. You can, if you didn't hear it at Mass already, you can look it up. It's more of, it's the beginning of John the Baptist's public ministry. But again, the Word of God bypasses all these important people in their important places and goes out to the desert and comes to John, whose birth we just read about in the previous chapter.
And I'm sure the important people would have thought, if God's going to come, they're going to come to us.
Exactly, right. So John, the Word of God came to John, the son of Zechariah, in the desert. So who is John? We're going to talk more about John next week, but lately, you've heard this from me, John's my guy. Lately,
Oh, yeah.
we get in today's gospel,
He's
the voice
stalking
of,
you?
he's still stalking me. He's the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, prepare a way for the Lord, make straight his paths. And we're called to do the same thing. It's Advent. Let us prepare the way of the Lord in our own hearts, but also for the sake of those who are around us.
Thanks for that, Dr. B. Happy second Sunday of Advent. Had to get in there quick.
And she's still saying more.